Okay, it's 9:30 a.m. here in Toronto, so let's get started. First of all, thank you for joining today's information session. I know it's Friday night in Hong Kong. But we want to make sure we can make this session before next Monday when the registration starts. So that's why we did it today. But thanks again for making it and plugging in for this session. Since this is for newly accepted students for the September 2022 fall, September 2022. So the first thing we want to say is welcome to George Brown College. So there's going to be an exciting journey ahead of you. And today's session is just to prepare you better for this upcoming September 2022 as your very first semester at George Brown College. So first, let me introduce myself and my colleague. My name is Nadila Shattar. I am the international recruiter at George Brown College Asia team. My colleague Cherry, who's from Hong Kong as well, she is going to be our Cantonese speaker today, and I will do the presentation in English. And during the Q&A session, if you have a question, feel free to use English or Cantonese, whichever that you feel comfortable. Cherry, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hello， 大家好啊，我係 Cherry 啊。一陣間咧，我哋喺 Q&A 嘅環節咧，如果大家有任何問題咧，都可以問我或者係Nadila嘅。
All right, so let's get started. Today's orientation is tailored for Hong Kong students who are going to join our program in September 2022, right? So we will talk about how to register for courses, what is placement test, and why some of you are required to take the placement test, even if you're accepted into the program, and other services that the college offers while you are studying as our current student. So in case there are some, students who are interested in applying to George Brown College, maybe in future intakes, I'm just going to do like a very quick overview about the college, and then I will move to the registration. All right. So as you may already know, George Brown College is one of the most diversified Canadian colleges with our international students coming from more than 150 countries and regions. So we do have the most diversified and balanced international student population. So you will definitely be studying in a very diversified learning environment as well. So this is also why a lot of domestic students choose to study at George Brown College as well as international students. So there are over 170 programs. We actually opened a few more. So the credential types include certificate, diploma, bachelor degree, postgraduate. You're accepted to one of them, of course. And then the academic centers are here. You will be studying in one of those academic centers listed here, from business to information technology to culinary, hospitality. And my apologies that this slide is actually not in traditional Chinese. I think I forgot to add that. All right, so this is where we are in the center of the city. So that's why people also call us this Toronto City College. So if you're studying business program, hospitality, culinary, EAP, English for Academic Purpose program, you will be completing your program, as well as a media program like video. So you will be studying at our main campus, St. James. So the SJ campus is the main campus. As you can see in the map, it's right next to Yonge and King subway station, where Toronto's financial district, the core area, is located. So this is where we are. And our waterfront campus is actually 10-15 minutes walk from St. James. It's in Toronto's harborfront area. If you're going to study in design or any health science programs like dental, recreation management, or behavioral science, etc., then you will complete your program at the waterfront campus. And this is our second largest campus. I'm just going to jump here first. The yellow circle CL, it's Casa Loma campus. So it's right next to the Dupont subway station. You can see it's a little bit up north. However, this is still in the very center of the city because this campus is right next to the Casa Loma, Toronto's famous historical site. That's how we get the campus name as well. So if you're going to study in any of the construction programs, such as mechanical engineering, carpentry, heating, refrigeration, all that, or fashion programs, jewelry programs, or computer technology related programs, you will complete your program here at the Casa Loma campus. So this is where Casa Loma is, all right? And this R, green circle R, is the Ryerson campus. Their name right now is TMU, Toronto Metropolitan University. They just didn't update the map yet. So let's say TMU. So it's a few subway stations away up north, still in downtown Toronto. So this TMU campus is where the entire School of ECE program is located, because our School of ECE shares that same building with TMU's ECE, School of ECE. So that's why if you're enrolled in the ECE program, of course, a lot of Hong Kong students are actually accepted to the ECE, then you will complete your program at the TMU University, TMU campus. And this blue circle SR is our student residence. If you already applied for our student residence, then you can see this is where it is. In summer, where the weather is nice, it's like 20 minutes walk to the St. James and Waterfront campus. If it's in winter, really cold, then there is a bus take you right from it's a public bus. It's not like a school bus, but there is a bus that can take you from student residence all the way to the St. James campus. So this is where we are. Here are some of the campus photos for your reference. All right. So before I move ahead to the registration process, I just want to quickly share with you, we do have our social media tailored for Hong Kong students. So there is a Facebook page, there is a YouTube channel. These two platforms are managed by my colleague Cherry. It's also our official channel. So we will be posting like college updates, but not all of the updates, of course, because we are still focusing on recruiting students. There is actually a designated team in the college to serve current students, but you will definitely find out some college events or something that we tailor for Hong Kong students, or some like session like today, there's English and Cantonese, and we will definitely share that on the social media channel as well. So make sure if you are interested to follow us on those channels, it will be helpful for you. Okay, so that's pretty much about the college overview. And now let's move on to registration guide. So, right, okay. First, what is StuView? So this is the first question. StuView is our student system. So basically, when you're enrolled in our program, this is where you will register for your courses. You can add or drop your courses, see your transcript, not official though, it's just like you can see your test result, you can pay fees, you can book your placement test, apply for student awards, and apply for credit transfers. So this is basically a very comprehensive system that you will be using on a daily basis after you start at George Brown College as a student. So the initial password for the StuView, so when you log in is your student ID, the 9-digit number, starting with 1, right? Each student, you have a unique GBC ID. Make sure you remember that ID number, because whenever you go somewhere asking for some kind of service, the first thing they ask you is, what is your student ID? Because they need that piece of information to look into your record first, and then they can provide you with better service. So always quote your student ID when you're emailing someone or, just meeting someone in person asking for some kind of service. So logging is your username is your student ID, and then the initial password is included in your letter of acceptance. So make sure to check your letter of acceptance. On the top of your letter of acceptance, there's your name, date of birth, and then there is a StuView password. So that is the initial password that you can use to log into your StuView and later change your password to something you like. So on StuView, when you go to StuView, this is where you can check your registration start date and time. So when you click this check your registration start date and time, you can see like when your program will be open for application at exact time. So this is where you go. I'm gonna talk more about this in next couple of slides, all right? So first of all, this is StuView. This is where you will be using basically on a daily basis. So make sure that you already try to log into StuView, familiarize yourself with the system a little bit, and then you can just get ready for the registration starting from next Monday. One more thing I do want to emphasize is that the StuView password the initial password I was talking about. Basically, Stuvio, your GBC email, and then your Blackboard, they all share the same GBC password. So it's very important to set up your GBC email as well, because your academic division, like your program coordinators, they may start sending you emails to your George Brown College email address, maybe starting from mid-August, because it's closer to the program start date. Some of the academic division would like to connect with your new students already, so they will connect you with your George Brown email address. Your George Brown email address is already set when you applied. It's just you need to, I will tell you how to set up your George Brown email address. Just make sure that you already set up the email address and you can access it as well. So those three systems use the same password. So you don't have to memorize different passwords for those systems. Those are the exact same password for you. Okay. Setting up your George Brown email. So that's what I just mentioned. So you just need to go to this page. I'm going to share the slides actually later after the session. I didn't save it unfortunately, but I will share it with you guys. You can just click the link easily, but basically you just need to come to this page, and then you need to, there is a detailed steps like 1, 2, 3, how to set up your George Brown email. So make sure to follow the steps. Just log in here, use your student ID and the password, of course, the same password you use to log into Stuvio, and then just click options and then click this account and the mailbox owner. It will display your George Brown College email address. So whenever people ask you what's your email address, you know what to share. You can just share to them, oh, this is my George Brown College email address, and make sure that you can access your email as well. It's very important. So because they will start to sending you emails very soon, closer to the September start. Okay. What's next after receiving the letter of acceptance? So this is for the post-secondary program. I'm not talking about ESL, the EAP. I will talk about EAP in later of the session, but now let's talk about post-secondary program, which means if you're accepted directly to the certificate or diploma, postgraduate or bachelor degree program, this is where you should be focusing on right now. So when you receive your letter of acceptance, you need to make sure that you actually clicked accept and then paid the minimum tuition fee and confirm your program seat in the application system. I know a lot of you already applied on your own, so you know how to use the application system, right? The International Student Application System. So that's where you need to complete your acceptance process first, because this is a very first step to make sure that you have confirmed your program seat. And then you can, register later. Issuing you a letter of acceptance, and then you just click accept, but you didn't proceed to next steps, such as making the payment, then we will not consider you as accepted student and you cannot register. So it's very important to complete the acceptance process properly in the application system. Note that this is not Stuvio, it's the application system where you apply for our program. So complete the acceptance process first. That's the very first step. And then after you're accepted, you completed everything, you paid, you already confirmed the seat, then you're good. You're accepted student now. So what's next for you is that you have to book your placement test on Stuvio. First of all, not everyone needs to take the placement test, okay? If you are accepted to postgraduate program or degree program, bachelor degree, you are not required to take the placement test. This is not for you. Another scenario that you don't have to take the placement test is that you apply to our program by writing the admission test. If you took the admission test while you apply for our program, the admission test result will be automatically used to place your to be used for this placement test. So if you took admission test before, you don't have to take that subject's placement test because we already have your result. So those two are exempted from taking placement test. And who needs to take the placement test? Anyone that is accepted to our certificate and the diploma programs. So why? Because both domestic and international students are required to take this placement test if you're in diploma or certificate program. It doesn't matter if you have IELTS 7 or 8, or if you already got accepted, you still need to take the test, because even domestic students, they need to take the placement test as well. This is a mandatory process for everyone, every new students accepted to certificate and diploma program, okay? So the placement test is not for pass or fail. So because you're already accepted, after you accept it, you will be required to take the placement test. So it's not gonna be failing you and affect you to enroll in our program. It's not like that. There is no pass or fail for the placement test result. The only purpose of the placement test is to determine that in your first semester, which is September 2022, whether you will be starting at college level English or math mark. I'm seeing someone is drawing on my slide. I don't know how you did it, but okay, thanks for undoing it. So the purpose of the placement test is that it's going to determine in the first semester whether you will be starting at college level English or math class, or foundation level English or math class. That is the only purpose of the placement test. So when you take the test, I don't know exactly what is the benchmark to determine college level or foundation level, because that is determined by the assessment center, but the result is just for that. So the only result you will receiving from the placement test is that either you're at college level, then you will take the college level English and math in your first semester, or you will take foundation level English or math in your English and or math in your first semester, okay? I said English and or math, it's a little bit confusing. Let me explain that to you. Everyone needs to take English placement test for sure, because all of you in the diploma or certificate program needs to take college English, but math is not mandatory, because some programs, they don't have math courses, such as ECE, so you don't have to take math. But hospitality, business, I think construction, you are required to take math. How do you find out if you are required to take math placement test? Go to Studio. It will show you what test that you need to take, either only English or English and math, okay? So let's say the result. If you're placed at college level, then that's good, because you're just gonna start in college level English and math in your first semester, and then you don't have to do anything in semester 2 or 3. But if you're placed at foundation level, then that means in your first semester, you'll have to take foundation English and a math course, right? And then in your second semester, January 2023, you have to complete the college English and math. So basically you will be taking additional courses, which means additional fees. So that is the only purpose of the placement test, okay? It's mandatory, so you have to take it if you're accepted to certificate and diploma program. If you make sure to check your Studio. So the deadline to take the placement test for international students is day 5 of September intake, which is September 12th. So this is the last day you're required to take the placement test. If you still didn't take the test on September 12th, the deadline date, then we will automatically place you at foundation level. So make sure that you try to take a test. You can maybe you will be placed at college level, so you don't have to take additional courses. So this is important, okay? And I know some of you will be like, hey, I looked at the Studio, I cannot find any spots because the next 5 days are already booked. This happens because Studio, the assessment center, they only release like, I think it's next 10 days slots. So you can only see next 10 days slots on the Studio. So maybe you cannot book it today. So make sure to check again tomorrow on Studio, because every day new slots will be released because they do it on a daily basis like this. So check it frequently and book your test. You can take your placement test before or after you register for the courses. It doesn't matter. So you can do it now. You can do it this weekend if you can, or you can just go ahead and register for your courses first, and then take your placement test. So it doesn't matter. You just need to take it either before or after the registration. Okay. So if you already booked your placement test and then somehow there's some issue with the test access or this and that, make sure to contact the assessment center immediately because you don't want to miss your test since you already booked a slot, right? So this is the email address for the assessment center. They are the department who release placement test slots, review your results, whatever. So this is where you contact them. Make sure to memorize this email address. If you email us at International Center, there's really nothing much we can do about a slot or like your access because we don't have access to the assessment center system. So you have to contact them directly. Make sure to quote your student ID number in the email subject line. If it's urgent, say urgent placement test access issue like this, put your student ID and then write to them like, hey, assessment center, I booked my test, but I still haven't received the test link. My test is going to be tomorrow. Can you confirm this and that? Make sure to contact them immediately with this email address. And someone will reply to you and tell you what's going on with your test, all right? Don't wait till last minute. Sometimes, because right now the test is online, so I have seen students who hasn't received the test link 1 hour prior to the test started. That's very last minute, but of course you have to contact them, and luckily the test center sent her the link. But make sure that, you know, just check a day before the test. If you still haven't received anything, contact them immediately, all right? Okay, so that's placement test. Next step is register for your courses. So first of all, you need to check on the studio, like here, right? Go to studio, click this link, check your registration start date. So this is how you see, your registration, your program's registration start date. The registration will start next Monday, but it doesn't mean all the program will be open next Monday. It just means that next Monday, the first group of program will be open for registration. We will talk about it in next slide, okay? And then you have to register. You have to complete this process on Studio. You have to register for your courses. And then we will consider you as officially registered for September intake. Even if you completed this step, which is accept you paid and confirm your program seat, it doesn't automatically register you for September, all right? So you really have to log into Studio, select your courses, complete the entire registration process. Otherwise, we will not consider you as a register for September. And if you did not register by day 5, September 12th, which is a deadline, then we cannot admit you to September. So those are all mandatory steps. Even if you paid, you confirmed your offer, it doesn't automatically register you for the September intake. So make sure to complete the registration process. So how to check? Next Monday is when, so I'm just gonna quickly jump out from my slide and then come to this page, actually the web page, so that I can better show you what's going on. Let me see if I can click this link. Okay, no. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. This is Studio, all right? This is can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Cherry, can you see the Studio page, Cherry?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so guys, this is the Studio homepage, right? When you log in, I just explained earlier. Oh, sorry, I just logged into my account. You just need to click login and you put your student ID or password login. And then you don't have to log in right now because this link is just going to take you somewhere else. So go to Studio homepage, click check your registration start date for September 2022. It will take you here. So this is the picture in my slide. So as you can see that there are a lot of important dates. Make sure to look at them. I will talk about important days later, but look, this is where it has a list of every program, every semester. So even returning students, like if you're in your semester 2 or 3, you still have to come to this page to see exactly when your program will be open for registration. So as you can see, like video design and production program. Sorry, I'm going to go with this one. Video design and production, semester 1, which means if you are a new student accepted to video design and production starting from this September, you cannot register on July 18th because your program will not be open for registration until July 20th, 3 p.m. Toronto time. So this is after this time you can register. So if you come to the studio login and then you want to register on July 18th, the system won't let you do it because your program is not open for registration yet. So it's very important to check when your program will be open for registration. You see some business programs are open for registration on July 18th, but not until 11 a.m. So make sure to check it, all right? And then check semester 1 because you're a new student. So the semester 2, 3, 4 are for returning students. So make sure there is a slight difference on that as well. So how to get to this page, go to Studio, click this link, it will take you here, okay? There's another very helpful link, click register now. So this is a registration, this page will tell you how to register, like click fall 2022. This is where you're gonna start, right? And then I know there's a lot of information, it can be overwhelming, but don't worry, just come to this page, come here, click this YouTube link. It's gonna tell you how to register, how to use Studio, how to select courses, how to complete the registration process. So make sure to check out this video. It's very, very helpful, especially if this is your very first time using a system like Studio, then this video will be helpful for you. So yeah, so this is how you can check out your program registration date, and then come here, see how to register. So this is gonna prepare you very well for you to register your courses for September. This is enough. You don't have to do that much. It's not that complicated, to be honest, but I understand that for the first time users with lots of information, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So don't worry, just always come back to Studio, check this link for the date and time, click this link for the registration process, like the guide. So it's gonna tell you it's that. Okay, so that's Studio. I'm just gonna go back to my slide. Sherry, can you see my slide now?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. So now let's talk about why can I register? Let's say you are accepted to video design program, right? A video production program. And then it says that your registration date is when? Is July 20th at 3 p.m. So let's say you logged into Studio exactly after this time. Technically, you should be able to register, but the system shows you are not eligible to register. This happens. So why can I register? Here are a couple of possible reasons, okay? First is that if you're accepted to our program, but there is a condition in your letter of acceptance says that you have to submit something by end of July or by end of August, and then you haven't done that. You haven't notified your admission officer that you have submitted that in your application system for them to review, then the offer condition is still there in your record. If there is a condition that hasn't been removed from your offer, excuse me, then you cannot register. So make sure that in your offer letter or letter of acceptance, it's the same thing. Don't get confused. In your offer letter, there is a condition section, right? If this empty, then that means you don't have any condition on your offer. That's great. But if there are conditions such as submitting your final transcript from your university or high school, submitting your final diploma, or submitting your ILAC completion certificate and transcript, and you haven't done that, then you cannot register, because if there is a condition that hasn't been removed, you cannot register. So if that happens, make sure to check your offer letter, make sure that you have submitted those required documents in the system, and then notify your admission officer. The contact information is on the offer letter as well, right underneath the condition, okay? So contact the admission officer and tell them, hey, I am accepted to video design and production program in September. There is a condition in my offer says I have to submit my final high school transcript and a diploma or university transcript diploma. And then I have already uploaded it in my application system. Can you remove the condition? And then they will review the document, and then they will let you know, okay, the condition has been removed, then you can register for September. So make sure that you have done that, all right? And then another reason is that some students, they didn't make insufficient payments. So let's say if you're required to pay 9,000 Canadian dollars for September, but you only paid 8,500, then the system won't let you register because there is some outstanding amount that you have to pay. So make sure that you have made all the payments for September. And another reason, the last reason, possible reason, is that your program is not open for registration yet. So because if you didn't check here, you just saw July 18th is the first day to register, and then everyone will just rushing to StuView, but turns out your program is not open yet, then that's the reason you cannot register. So make sure that you have checked everything, you're good to go. Then as long as your program is open, then you can just start the registration process. Okay, so that is for our post-secondary program students, all right? And we do have some students from Hong Kong. They're also gonna start from our English for academic purpose EAP program. So I'm just gonna quickly talk about how EAP program students can register. The process is completely different, by the way. You won't be using StuView at all. So you don't have to worry about StuView because there's not much information there for EAP students yet until you start in the post-secondary diploma or certificate. So the first step is exactly the same. Accept your offer, make the payment so that you're considered as accepted student for the EAP. And then how to register for EAP. Let's say you're starting in September EAP. So wait for that email from School of ESL. School of ESL will send you an email, and then that email will have all the registration guidelines. Basically, the registration is completely different. You're not going to do it on StuView. You have to wait for that email from School of ESL. There is a guidance on how to complete a form online, to confirm your registration. So that's different. Don't worry about your GPC email because the School of ESL will email both your personal and George Brown College email, so you won't miss it. But I would still recommend you to set up your George Brown College email, because as soon as you start your EAP program, your instructor, your faculty will connect you with the George Brown email. So it's equally important for EAP students to set up their email address as soon as they can, okay? And then the second step is attend the EAP level placement test. This is only for students who apply to the EAP program without IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL. So if you already applied with IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL, which means your starting level is clearly outlined in your offer letter, for example, starting level 6, level 7, level 8, then you don't have to take the level placement test because we already know your level. There are some students they applied without IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL, then yes, you have to take the EAP level placement test because this is your last chance, of course, the only chance to determine your starting level. So this level placement test information will also be included in that email they tell you about the registration. So make sure to read that email carefully. I believe they will send you a PDF file with like many pages. Make sure you read them carefully because there are a lot of important information there, okay, about your level placement test, about your registration. I know some students who applied with IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL want to give it a try for level placement test. I personally would not recommend you to do that because if you already are placed, then you don't have to take the test because the test result, if your IELTS placed you at level 6, but the test result placed you at level 5, you cannot revert to IELTS anymore. We will just only use the placement test result and let you start at level 5. So there is no time to regret for that. Some students, they did it before and then they want to go back to the previous level placed by IELTS, then we are not allowing them to do that because in that test disclaimer sheet, it clearly said, if you agree to take the level placement test, you cannot use IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL for level placement test anymore. So if you did take the test, the level placement test, it means you agreed with this condition. So don't take the test if you already have IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL and it already been placed because your level is good. You don't have to do anything about it, okay? Another very important step for EAP students. This is for students, again, who applied without IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL. So which means before you take the level placement test, we don't even know which level you will be starting at. So that means as soon as you took the level placement test result, you have received your starting level from School of ESL. They will tell you, hey, your level placement test result placed you at level 4 or level 5. As soon as you know this information, come back to the application system. So the application system is not Studio, okay? It's the International Student Application System. It looks like this. Let me see. It looks like this. If you have a trouble finding this, just send us an email. We can help you with that. So come back to this system and then change your application to, I am currently studying at George Brown College EAP program, and that will reflect your EAP starting level. And then since you know how long you have to study in the EAP because you know your starting level, you can just choose your post-secondary level program, because sometimes you may have to postpone it a little bit later from September to January because you need more time to complete required EAP level, right? So you have to make these changes in the system and resubmit it, because otherwise your post-secondary level program seat is not guaranteed, because we don't know how long you have to study in the EAP. So this is a very important step for students who applied without IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL, which means we don't know your starting level until you actually take the level placement test, all right? Okay, one more thing. The EAP level placement test is completely different thing with the placement test we mentioned earlier, okay? These two are completely different tests. I know it can be a little bit confusing. There's placement test in both of them, but it's completely different things, okay? Okay, upload your study permit. This is for everyone, EAP or post-secondary program students. As long as you are a new international student starting this September, you are required to upload your study permit to International Center. So where can you upload it? This is a link that you can just click here, and it's going to take you to a system. Make sure to upload a copy of your study permit in the system. It's very important because, first of all, we will have a record of your study permit. And then later, when you need to request enrollment letter from International Center, then if we don't have a copy of your study permit, we cannot issue that letter for you. So you have to upload it in the International Center as soon as you arrived in Canada, because the actual study permit will be issued at the Canadian border when you come here, right? So make sure that upload a copy of the study permit as soon as you received it. I know some of you, you may receive a study permit approval letter. If you're outside Canada right now, you don't have to submit this thing. It's not required. Just you will use this letter when you come to Canada, and then the border officer will look at this letter and then issue you the actual study permit. So you don't have to submit this approval letter, but you are required to submit the actual study permit that is issued at the Canadian border, and then make sure to upload it to the International Center, okay? This is a very important step for you. Okay, program delivery for fall 2022. So how is your program going to be delivered in September? Maybe you already know. This is where you can check it out. So definitely check out this link and see like how your program will be delivered for September. So this information is available on the website. However, IRCC right now only allows international students to study outside Canada until August 31st, 2022. So regardless the program delivery method for your program in September, even it's online or hybrid or in person, you still need to travel to Canada and take your program here in Canada, because IRCC up to this date, they still haven't updated their policy yet. So that means they won't allow international students to study outside Canada after August 31st. So which means for this September, you have to get your study permit approval letter and then travel to Canada by day 5, which is a late attendance day, and then start your program here in Canada. Even if your program is going to be delivered online, no, you still have to come to Canada. So this is IRCC's policy, because you definitely don't want to let it affect your PGWP eligibility, right? So make sure that you have everything ready and then make your travel arrangement, because you're required to take the program inside Canada if you want to count that time period towards your PGWP calculation. So make sure that this is very, very important. Even if it's online, you still have to travel to Canada, okay? Unless IRCC makes a very last minute policy update, like says, oh, wait, you know what, international students can now study outside Canada until December. But my gut feeling is that it's not likely because it's already mid-July. They haven't announced anything yet. So unless they do update it, then that's fine, but they haven't said anything right now. So August 31st is still the deadline for students to study outside Canada without affecting their PGWP. After that date, then you are responsible for taking your program outside Canada because IRCC doesn't allow that, okay? All right, important dates. Important dates for international students. So these are just some of them that frequently asked dates. You can definitely click this link and then check out the dates on the website as well. They're going to be like a more comprehensive list, but this is the important dates that you need to be aware of. So web registration begins July 18th, right? Not all programs, so check out your program. And then the deadline for placement test is September 12th, day 5 of the semester. If you don't take your placement test by September 12th, then you will be automatically placed at foundation level, all right? So if you want to give it a try, see if you can place at college level, then do the test before this day so that you can give it a try, okay? And then there is actually an official orientation for all new international students that is organized by our student support team. It's a different team from where I am right now because I'm basically more focused on recruiting students. This session is just, very unique session we did for the Hong Kong students specifically, but make sure that do register for the official international orientation. That is a bigger one. And then I think it's like 3-4 hours. They're going to talk about study permit. They're going to talk about health insurance, all that important information for international students. So you will receive an email for the registration for sure. But I would also recommend you to check this orientation calendar on our website. I have a link in a couple of slides. I will share that. So definitely check out this link. And then there is an orientation calendar. So that's where you can find out when the international orientation will be starting. And each program, they have academic orientation too. Like for example, if you're in culinary program, then chef school is going to have their own orientation, more academically focused, of course. They're not going to talk about health insurance for international students because that's part of international orientation, but they will talk about your courses, what are the mandatory courses or anything academic related. It is included in the academic orientation. So there are lots of orientation going on in the next upcoming months. So make sure that you register for all of them. Register for the international one, register for your academic orientation as well, so that you can know who is your program coordinator. Whenever you have troubles registering for courses, like if the class is the class that you want to take is too full, then you want to talk to someone to see if they can squeeze you in, then that's something that you have to check with your academic office, the program coordinator. We cannot do anything at International Center because we're not authorized to do that. So it's important to know who to contact at the college, okay? And the class is gonna begin on September 6th. This is the day 1 of the fall 2022 term. And then you need to submit your study permit, as I mentioned earlier, as soon as you received it, definitely upload it to the International Center. And then the last date for late attendance is also day 5, September 12th. So make sure you make your travel arrangements properly and then that you don't miss your class by this day. If you don't attend your class by September 12th, then there's going to be an issue because you already passed the late attendance day. It will affect your September enrollment for sure. So make sure that you don't miss this date. Attend your class by September 12th. This is the last day for late attendance, okay? And then the last day to withdraw from your September term, let's say you took a week of class and then you feel like, you know what, I don't want to do it. I want to start in January. Or some students, they waited their study permit, they waited, there's nothing. And then until September 12th, they still haven't received their study permit, or after September 12th, they still haven't received anything. you have until September 19th, the day 10 of semester, to submit your withdrawal form to withdraw yourself from September intake. So this is the last day, okay? If you want to withdraw, if you want a deferral, you have to submit your withdrawal form by this day, Toronto time, of course. If you miss it by this day, you will lose your entire tuition fee that you paid for September. So make sure that if you are planning to deferral, you want to withdraw for whatever reason, it has to be done by this day. This is for post-secondary, all right? EAP is different. EAP is day 5. It's another day, but this is for diploma, certificate, postgraduate programs. So how does it work? If you want to defer for, let's say some of you are still waiting for your study approval letter and you haven't heard from IRCC, then you may want to consider defer to January 2023. And you may wondering like, hey, can I first register for my class and see if my study permit approval letter will be issued anytime in August? Yes, you can do that. You can still register for your classes while waiting for your study permit approval letter. That's fine. But by any chance, if you still don't receive your study permit approval letter and you feel like you cannot make it by September 12th, which is the last attendance day, then you have to withdraw and a deferral to next available intake because you don't want to, affect your enrollment to September, right? So then you have to submit that form by September 19th. And then if you request to, we will withdraw you from September. And then if you keep your tuition fee in your George Brown College account, because you're only deferring, you're still coming to our program, you just need to come at a later intake, then there is no penalty for that. That's fine, as long as you submit it by September 19th. However, if you change your mind, you already confirmed the program seat, but somehow you just don't want to come to our program anymore, you still need to submit it by September 19th. But in that case, if you request refund back to your bank account, then we will charge you $1,000 withdrawal fee, okay? This policy is also clearly outlined in your letter of acceptance on our website. So make sure that you read that policy clearly. There will be $1,000 withdrawal fee if you decided to just withdraw from our program and then refund your fee to your bank account. The third scenario is that your visa is rejected. That is the reason you decided not to come, and then you want to request refund back to your bank account, then you still have to request it by September 19th, okay? And then send us the visa refusal letter, and then we will only charge you $100 Canadian as an admin fee and refund you the rest of the fees for that. So again, this is post-secondary withdrawal policy I'm talking about, okay? The EAP is slightly different for that. All right. So September 2022 orientation events, this is the link I talked about. So if you click here, it's going to take you to this event calendar. You can definitely filter it by event type. So I'm just going to click it here. So you should be able to see my web page right now, right? So this is where I was earlier on my slide, and then click here. If you want to see when the academic orientation is happening for your program, click academic, and then see it's still early. So the academic divisions, they haven't posted anything yet. Date is not finalized, but this is where you see if your chef school of ECE or design school are doing their orientation, this is where you find out. And then if you want to see the international orientation, click international, and then you can see that there is up and running new student prep days. This is definitely online because it's on August 10th. International students, most of them are still not in Canada yet, but definitely sign up and running. There's some important information for you. So this is where you can register, okay? But this is not the official international orientation. The official international orientation date is not posted yet. So you cannot, that's why we don't know when that's gonna happen. But if there are some like up and running, like a small orientation going on for international students, definitely sign up. It's going to be helpful for you. The more you know about the things that you need to do before September starts, the better prepared you are, okay? So this is an orientation link that you can find out all the orientation events at the college. Okay. All right, I'm going back to my slide now. next part is about campus services. So after you start your program at George Brown College, you definitely want to know what kind of services are there out there for you while you're studying in our program. So it's extremely important for international students to know what kind of services is out there, and then definitely take advantage of it, use it because they're free, and then it's going to be helpful for you academically and professionally as well. So I'm just going to share a couple of the very helpful services that I like to share with international students, but note that this is not all of them. There are a lot of service departments in the college. Definitely check out the college website under the current student page. There is more comprehensive list, okay? So the first one is Tutoring and Learning Center. It's called TLC. So the Tutoring and Learning Centers, they have office in St. James, in Waterfront campus, in Casa Loma campus. So you don't have to visit specific campus to do the tutoring and learning because it's available in all campuses. So if you want, English tutor, if you want to do math tutoring or accounting tutoring, they can just drop into their Tutoring and Learning Center office. That was pre-pandemic, of course. Right now, I believe it's still online. So you just need to, drop into their online session, and then they will offer you free English, math, and accounting tutor. So definitely take advantage of that. If you are finding yourself having a little bit difficulty catching up with the classes, you want some improvement, then use this service. The feedback I received from the students that is very, very helpful. All right. And on a related note, if you actually are very, very good at math or accounting or English, and then you want to apply for an on-campus job because you can work on campus as an international student on top of the 20 hours per week off campus. Okay, so the on-campus and off-campus are different. So if you're looking for an on-campus job, then they also hire student tutors. So definitely check out. They do hiring from time to time. If you're confident you are good at any of those subjects, you want to tutor other students as an on-campus job, then you can definitely find out more information by visiting their website. All right, next one is counseling service. So we do have a professional counseling offered to international students as well. The entire service is completely private. It can be stressful for international students to study abroad. And, if you're feeling a little bit down or you definitely want to seek some help, talk to someone, we do have this counseling service for our students in all of the campuses. And this is an email address that you can reach out to. And then the professional counselor will schedule an appointment with you and then, discuss more based on your own situation. So take advantage of that because studying as an international student can be stressful sometimes. And then there are help for you at the college. And next one will be the library. So library is a very, very comprehensive department that exists in the college. You may engage with them a lot. So this is where you get your student ID. So now they do digital ID because a lot of them are still online. But if you do want to get a physical George Brown College ID, library is where you go. So talk to the front desk staff at the library. They have library in all the campuses as well. So you just need to go to your campus library. Someone will take a picture of you and then print out the student ID for you. But right now, most of our students will do the digital ID because, it's convenient as well. Then this is where you go. This is their website, and then check out how to apply for the digital ID. And this is also where you can borrow textbooks. You know that textbook in Canada can be expensive. Sometimes they do offer like a first come, first serve basis, borrowing some textbooks. If they happen to have that book in the library, then you can borrow it, but it's very, very difficult as far as I know, because students, it can just, be borrowed out very, very soon. So, but check it out. And then they also offer like a lot of resources, citation websites, all that from their system. Our current students can access all those resources without any issue. Just definitely visit the website. It will take you to the citation system for the resources research that you need to do, okay? And then they also borrow equipment for students as well. Let's say you need an iPad for some kind of team project. They can lend it to you for, I think, 14 days one time for free, of course, and then you can just borrow the equipment from the library. And then I think you can renew it if your project needs longer time, but definitely talk to the library staff. They do have all these resources available for the students, all right? Okay, so the next one is very, very important for international students. I always emphasize on that is our career services. Career services also has offices in all the campuses. And what they do is that, for example, you want to apply for an internship or co-op, or eventually when you're graduating, you want to apply for a full-time job. This is where you should go first of all. They will help you to revise your resume, make it more Canadian, let's say, like how Canadian HR would like to see from your resume. They can help you revise it. And then let's say if you have an interview coming up next week, you can definitely schedule an interview simulation session with the career service staff, and they will do an interview simulation one-on-one like this week. And then you can do the practice, improve your skills a little bit, gather some feedback from the staff. And then the actual interview you're going to have next week, you will be, more relaxed in that sense. And then they will also do like all kinds of workshops, career workshops, job hunting workshops, or how to connect on LinkedIn workshops, anything career related. They do a lot of interesting workshops for students. So you don't have to wait till you're graduating and then start using career services. I usually tell my students, start it from semester one. It's never too late to start your networking and, prepare yourself for the graduation job hunting period, because time passes really, really, really fast. So start early is always a good option. And then the most important thing is that after you start in our program as a George Brown College student, you will have access to our exclusive job portal called GB Careers, okay? So I'm just gonna go to the web again. And then in the GB Career, this is an exclusive job portal for our students to apply for jobs directly. So our industry partners, they will be posting internship, co-ops, or full-time jobs in this portal. And then George Brown College students can just apply directly from the system. It's a very, very convenient system set up for our students. A lot of students I know that's how they find their co-op or even their full-time job. Okay, it's still loading though. It can be my internet, so it's not showing. Anyways, so check out this link, and then this is where you can see the job portal. Sorry, let me just try one more time. It should be working. Career services. Okay. Career services. Oh, it is my internet. Cherry, can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me see if I can access the portal from here, right? Okay. You know what? It's not loading, so let's skip this part, but this is how you can access the career portal. So it's a little bit like Studio, but you just need to log in with your student ID and password, and then you can just apply for jobs directly from there. So definitely take advantage of that if you're looking for internship or part-time jobs or co-op or a full-time job. Use that system. And then definitely connect with career services as early as you can. There are a lot of career coaches that are there to provide you any type of support when it comes to, job hunting. All right. All right. If you're interested into, working out or joining a sports team like badminton or basketball, volleyball, then this is where you go. So we do have athletics and the recreation center. It has a gym at the St. James and the Casaloma campus. And then there are recreation classes for you like yoga, Pilates, I don't know, like all type of, gym classes for you as a recreation. You can sign up. All of them are free, of course. And then if you want to join any sports team, like student league team, then this is where you sign up as well. So check out the athletics and recreation department's web page on our website. So whenever you need to look for something on our website, the easy way is just search here, like what I did earlier. So just come to the website, George Brown College, and then search whatever you need to do. So let's say athletics, right? Athletics, just search one keyword. Usually the first thing pops up is that athletics and recreation center. So click that, it's gonna take you to that page. And then that's usually how I find those departments. So definitely maximize the search, the search button there. So see, you can join the team, like soccer team, volleyball, or you can fitness classes, all that. So they have a lot of resources for our students. It's because it's very, very important for you to maintain a healthy and then, healthy physics and then, very balanced mental health as well. So take advantage of that, okay? Next one, registrar's office. Usually we call it RO. If you hear RO, it means the registrar's office. You will engage with this department very often because they are in charge of the studio, and then they are in charge of you making fees, you're adding classes, dropping classes, all that. Everything has to go through the registrar's office. And then let's say if you want to request an official transcript and you're graduating, you want to request an official credential, this is where you go. The registrar's office issues all that. The only letter we issue at International Center is the enrollment letter. That's why you need to upload your study permit. But like transcript, credentials, all that, they issue that from the registrar's office. So there is a website called records.georgebrown.ca. So this is where you go to request your transcript, e-transcript, or credentials and all that thing. All right. So if you're a ESL student, then on top of all those services that you can access, even if you're ESL, you can still use all of our services I mentioned earlier. We also have like a weekly planner for the EAP students, so that after your classes, then you can still drop in for all those sessions, engage with local communities, improve your English, or just network with other peers. So Monday to Friday, so from first day to last day of the month, every day there is some kind of event for you, for the EAP students. So definitely check out the EAP. I think the EAP event team gonna email you, and they also have their social media channel as well. So follow them. There are all kinds of events. Don't miss out. It's gonna be a very interesting part of your journey. Okay. The last thing is student clubs. Maybe you want to join a student club while you're studying at George Brown College. They have academic clubs, cultural clubs, sports clubs, all that. If you want to join, then this is where you go. Just search what I did, student clubs, and then it's going to show you the page, all right? So this is where you make friends who share the same interests with you, extend your network as well. So they always do like recruiting as well in the first 2 weeks, I believe, like September, when September starts, pre-pandemic, they do the recruiting sessions for student clubs in campus, but right now I'm not really sure how they're going to do it. They may do it online. I'm not quite sure, but check out the student clubs website and then see like if there's any student clubs that you're interested in, then connect with them. They're definitely recruiting students every semester. So this is where you can also expand your skills as well. All right, so that's pretty much about the campus services I want to talk about. And now I just wanted to share like some important contact that international students need to know when they are studying at George Brown College. So we have 3 licensed international student advisors. They are licensed, so they are able to provide you inquiries about your study permit, your postgraduate work permit, academic plans, all that. But the most important thing is they are able to provide you visa-related advising. Like me, myself, I'm not able to do that because I'm not licensed, but these people, they can. They only serve current students. So if you email them right now, telling them I'm starting in September, they can't serve you because you haven't started your program yet. After September 6th, the day one of fall semester, you can contact them because you already started the program. So how to find out who is your international student advisor? Check their contact information here. So for example, Michelle, if you're studying in construction, preparatory liberal studies, computer technology, fashion jewelry, performing arts, then this is where you go. If you're a student from business, you cannot contact Michelle because you have to contact MJ here. She is the advisor for international students who study in business, ESL, and ECE. So make sure that you memorize that, you know who is your international student advisor. So whenever you have any issue with your visa, with your, like if you want to transfer, or if there's anything with your academic plan as an international student, just email your advisor directly. Always quote your student ID, of course, and then tell them, hey, Michelle, I need some advice on my student visa. I need to extend it. So what am I supposed to do? And then Michelle will be able to help you with that. Okay, so it's very, very important for international students to know who is their international student advisors, and then just memorize that person and then contact with them frequently as if necessary, all right? So on top of that, like if you just want to talk to someone from International Center, like for various other type of questions that you have, but it cannot be visa related because the front desk is not able to answer any study permit, work permit related advising. Again, the same reason, they are not licensed. So if it's a visa, then contact these people, all right? But if it's anything else as an international student, like enrollment letter, or if you need to talk to someone from International Center as an international student, this is where you go. We do have this virtual service desk because International Center is still working from home right now. So visit this virtual service desk and then there will be our front desk staff available from Tuesday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So this is where we talk to them, all right? So how to check this virtual website? I hope I can open this one. Let me try. So contact International Center page. See, this is where current students, this is where you look at, because after September 6th, you are considered as current students. So this is future students. This is where I am focused on. So after September 6th, if you contact me, I will direct you to the current student team because I honestly don't have access to your system. So I can't really help you even if I want to. So definitely it's important to know who to contact when you are studying the program, all right? So this is the virtual service desk, Tuesday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Click this link and then wait in queue. Someone will talk to you, see? 10 a.m. because today is Friday, so that's why you cannot waiting in line right now, but if it's during that hour, it will let you wait in line and it's gonna show how many people is waiting and then, you know, when will be your turn. So it's pretty convenient system. Make sure to definitely access it whenever you need to talk to someone from International Center, okay? All right, I think I have covered everything I wanna share with, oh, sorry, not this, this one. Okay, so yeah, now let's move on to the Q&A. Any questions? If you want to ask in English or Cantonese, both Cherry and myself are able to answer those questions for you. You can type it or you can unmute yourself. It's up to you. Okay, let me see. I have already received questions from the chat. I'm seeing students are looking for their peers. That's great. Business program students, which campus are we going to go? Okay, that's actually a great question. Let me explain what happened right now. So the business is at our St. James campus, right? This building you're looking at. So this building right now is under maintenance. My office is also in this building. The AC is broken. This is our main campus, St. James building. The AC is broken, so due to some supply chain issues for the pandemic, the entire project is delayed a little bit. So basically in September, this main building in St. James is not open, cannot accommodate students because of some safety protocols. So right now, the registration office is looking for buildings nearby the St. James campus because we do have other buildings in St. James, like this is a chef's house. We have another building, the chef school building is here. So basically, if you're business program students, my answer to you right now is that they may find another building nearby the St. James to accommodate your class in September. It's only going to be September because as soon as we fix the EC, you will come back to this building in next semester, all right? So right now, I honestly don't know which building you're going to go. You just wait for that email from the registration office. They are still looking for the classroom options for our students. All right. Another question. If I already got the ILAC certificate, do I need to do the placement test? Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's ILAC or IELTS 7 or 8. If you're accepted to diploma or certificate, you'll have to do the placement test, okay? Okay, that's not a question for me. Let me see. Talking about the RO, just wondering which office is responsible for PGWP application. Definitely the international student advisors, all right? So make sure that you know who your advisor is. When you are graduating, the advisor will guide you through the process. But of course, the current international student support team, they always do PGWP workshops. Always. If I'm not wrong, they do it on a monthly basis. We also post it on our Facebook page as well whenever there is a PGWP session. So check out the event calendar page I mentioned earlier. Whenever there is a PGWP session, just sign up. It's going to be helpful for you to know those PGWP process, okay? But if you want to talk to someone about PGWP, these 3 people is where you should go, depending on which academic center you're at. Okay, hello, I received an email mentioned that the tuition fee is changed and I need to pay additional 10 Canadian dollars for 2022 fall tuition fee. Will this outstanding fee make us unable to register for courses? All right, that's a good question. Yes, it will affect because there is outstanding amount, so you have to pay that $10 and then register. So why this happens is that I'm pretty sure you already paid for the requested amount on your letter of acceptance, right? But if you notice in the letter of acceptance, it says that fees are subject to change and this is just an estimate. So that's why the final fee for September is usually issued by the, let's say July or June by the RO, the registration office. So the fees on your letter of acceptance is just an estimate. Of course, it's a very close estimate. As you can see, the price difference is like $10, $20. It's not going to be $1,000, but it's definitely not the exact amount. So that's why some international students, they already paid for September tuition fee based on the offer letter, but they are still asked to pay like $10, $15. That happens because the offer letter can only give you a close estimate because International Center doesn't make the fees. It's a registration office. So whenever, let's say for September, usually the registration office will finalize the fees in June and July, and then they will email everyone, both domestic and international students, and it will tell you, hey, this is your final invoice for September. And then you may notice that you are required to pay additional fees. So that's normal, don't panic, just pay the fee on StuView. You can just log into StuView and then pay it with credit card, and then you will be able to register, okay? Hello, may I ask if I'm going to apply for credit transfer, I still need to register for fall courses first, right? I don't think it's going to affect your registration. Yes, you can register for now, but if you're requesting credit transfer, make sure it's also done on StuView, okay? So you have to upload your official transcript that is evaluated by WES if you want to do credit transfer, because it's reviewed by the registration office. Unless your transcript is issued from a school in Canada or US, then you don't have to do the WES evaluation. But if it's other than Canada and US, you have to do the WES evaluation. Otherwise, they won't accept your credit transfer request. So do that first and then upload your WES evaluation course equivalence, whatever, on the StuView. There is a transfer section, and then they will review your request and then let you know in the first week of September that how many credits they can let you exempt it. Another important thing for international students, especially if you're requesting credit transfer, is that you have to make sure, even if you are exempted from a few courses for September, because of this credit transfer, you are still required to register under full-time course load. So if they exempt you too many credits and then you became part-time, it's going to affect your study permit, it's going to affect your PGWP, because international students are not allowed to register part-time. You are required to register full-time all the way during your program, except the last semester, if it's co-op term or whatever, but definitely not in your first few semesters. If you have to make sure you are, after you're granted a credit transfer, check with RO to make sure you are still registered under full-time course load. If you're part-time, it's gonna definitely be a problem for you. Your study permit gonna be invalid because IRCC doesn't allow you to study part-time, and then it's gonna affect your PGWP. So it's very, very important for you to make sure that you are still under full-time status, okay? All right, next question from Mike. Hi, may I know if there is a course list for our preview for planning our timetable? So yes, actually, how to get a sense of if what courses you'll be taking, the best way is, I'm just going to use an example for a random program, all right? So this is culinary management, right? So program page for culinary management. So go to your program page, culinary management, down here, click courses. Click courses, it kind of tells you what are the required courses for semester 1, what are the required courses for semester 2. So basically, you know in advance usually what courses you will be taking, okay? You see that there are a lot of courses, don't panic. Some courses are only 7 weeks. So you will be taking maybe 7 weeks of this and then 7 weeks of that. So in total, you're not taking that many courses at the same time. But if you want to see that, this is where you go, okay? But when your registration opens, you will be able to see your course, the blog or the whatever on Studio directly. That's more accurate, right? Will course registration affect the refund amount when we withdraw from the program due to visa delay? No, it won't. As long as you submit your withdrawal form by the withdrawal deadline, you're fine. Even if you registered, it's okay. Hi, I will be studying TMU for my ECE program. What are the facilities and the features I can use or get access? That's a great question. Actually, I honestly don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if TMU, I believe ECE students are able to access TMU facilities because our students is actually considered a student there. What exact facility that they have, I would recommend you to check with ECE. So the ECE department in their orientation, they will tell you where you're studying at TMU, what kind of facilities that you can use in the campus. I'm pretty sure you can access them. I'm just not sure what facility that they have at that campus. So definitely check out with ECE department. I'm pretty sure they will mention that in their orientation as well. Or you can email them right now and then just, you know, I'm just gonna type the email address here. It's ece@georgebrown.ca. Email them and tell them, hey, I'm joining the program in September. What facilities are accessible for me from September? And then they will be able to answer that for you, okay? All right. Could you briefly introduce the insurance plan for international students? Actually, I can't because International Center is not in charge of insurance. It is managed by student association. So you'll have to visit the health benefits page. This is where you go. There is a very detailed information about your plan, who to contact, if you want to opt in your family member, how to do that, what is the deadline, all those information are available here. So it's not loading, but I'm going to share the link here in the chat box. This is where you go to check out the insurance information. All right. Next question. I see from the studio that there is no placement test requirement, but I'm admitted to diploma course. That's weird. Unless you took admission test when you apply for our program, then the admission test result will be automatically used for the placement test. Otherwise, if you're into a diploma program, you have to take placement test. I'm not sure why you cannot see it on the studio. It shouldn't be the case. It should be there. Double check on that, okay? If you still cannot see anything, so where is the link? Sorry, just let me go back to that placement test page. Email this department, all right? Email booktest@georgebrown.ca and tell them, hey, I didn't take admission test, but I'm accepted to diploma program. Why I can't see placement test on my studio? And then they will tell you what's going on, all right? You definitely, if you didn't take admission test, you have to take placement test. It's a mandatory step, and it should be on your studio as well. Hi, do I have student residence? Do not have student residence reply. Is it few chance to have a residence now? If you still haven't got a spot for residence for September, I would say the chance is low, because residence is very, very competitive given the location and the facility and everything. You have to connect with residents. If there is no reply, then wait for a few days. It's a peak season for them as well. Sorry, I can't load that page, but yeah, definitely check out that residence page. Cherry, can you share the residence page? I cannot load it. Just email them again and tell them, hey, can I still apply? But my gut feeling is that it doesn't seem like you can get a spot right now because it's pretty late. Hello, I can upload my study permit. When I try to upload it through the link, the find a document and upload my study permit button does not let me click through. Okay. You know what? Actually, I think I have a guide that was shared to me by the current student team on how to upload your study permit. If I can find out that, then I will share that with you in the chat. Sorry, just give me one moment. Study permit. Okay, here you go. I'm gonna upload this study permit. Oh. Recruitment. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, my Zoom is kind of popping up here. Let me share that guide to you, all right? Follow that PDF file. It has some explanation on how to upload your study permit. Study permit upload guide, open. Okay, I just shared it here in the chat box. Check out this file, okay? All right, so let me scroll back to the questions. I actually deferred from May to September. I haven't received updated view letter. How I request updated one? Your admission officer. So contact your admission officer on the offer letter and ask them why I don't have the letter. If you don't have the letter, that may mean that your program doesn't require co-op permit in your first semester or your first year. So that's why we don't send it out. But if you are in ECE or some program that requires field placement from semester 1, then you have to contact your admission officer and ask them, can you send me the updated view letter as well? Okay. Hi, Nadila. Have enrolled into a post-graduation certification program. Does the registration have a quota for different courses? Will late registered student be placed on wait list or simply register on time and we will be fine? So James, yes, for business, it's usually not block-based because business programs are more flexible. Block-based programs are usually chefs, hospitality, culinary, some construction because they have to book the lab. So usually it's block-based. You can only select this block or that block based on your schedule. But business is basically course-based. So popular courses will definitely be registered first, and then, or more desired time is going to be, registered soon by all the students. So the earlier you register, the better time, better schedule that you can, you will have more options, okay, on that. So definitely definitely make sure that you just check out your registration day, register on the first day, because that's when you have most of the options for your, if you want to, let's say, if you want to work for one day, you want to place all of the courses in certain days, that's when you have the most options. But I don't think you will be placed on a wait list, because we will make sure, because you're accepted, we will make sure there are courses for you. It's just maybe the time is not desired, or maybe the course you want to take is already taken, you have to wait for semester 2. Usually those are elective courses, not core courses. We will make sure your core courses are all registered, okay? Next question. I'm seeing people raising hand. Just let me go through the question I received so far, and I'm gonna cue you for the question, all right? And I'm seeing someone else is joined on my slides. Thank you. I don't know how to undo that, so yeah, just don't mind that slide. Hello, I'm the student who applied without IELTS, Duolingo, and TOEFL, but I heard that you say there is no need to take this level test. What is it? No. If you're a EAP student, you did not apply. You applied without IELTS, Duolingo, and TOEFL. You have to take the test. There is no other option for EAP students. So you have to take the test. Okay. If I fail, do I need to retake the test? There is no fail for the EAP level placement test. The result is only going to determine which starting level you will be. It can be higher level, it can be lower level. If it's higher level, you study a shorter period of time. If it's lower level, you have to study more sessions. That's it. But you have to take the level placement test if you don't have IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL to determine your EAP starting level. Okay, there is no other option. Morning, Nadila. I paid the outstanding payment via StuView, but selected a wrong semester. Oh, will this affect my registration? Who should I contact? Okay, yeah, it's gonna. Registration, I think the email address is registration@georgebrown.ca. I'm not really sure. Let me see. Cherry, do you know yeah, thank you. Cherry just shared the registration email address. Contact this email address immediately. Put in the subject line, urgent, fee paid to wrong semester, student ID. Always quote your student ID, okay? Otherwise, it's going to take them very slow to get back to you, or they will ask you what is your student ID, and then when you provide that number, it's going to be another 2-3 days. So always quote it and then write in the email body, hey, I paid the fees and then this is a screenshot, but I paid for the wrong semester. Can you put it back to September? And then the RO will fix that for you, okay? Okay. Can you upload this PPT? I hope, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it before I close this session. Let me just go through all the questions and I will upload it here in the chat as well, okay? My registration will be started on August 6th. Can I pay the outstanding CAD tutorial fee after that on September? No, if it's outstanding for September, you have to pay the fee first, okay? Then you can register. Sorry for disturbing, not at all. Do I necessarily to take EAP if I pass Duolingo? Okay. Are you referring that you are accepted to EAP, but you already have a direct entry Duolingo result? If so, then send me an email, okay? Terry, can you share my email address in the chat box? So send me an email. Let me know what's going on with your Duolingo. If it's for placement, then that's another story. But if it's for direct entry, we have to look at it on a case-by-case basis, okay? I am a secondary school graduate from BC. I have ordered an official transcript to be mailed to GVC. Oh, no, you cannot mail your document because we're working from home. We don't accept mail documents. No one is at the campus to accept it. So you have to, BC definitely issue e-transcript. I'm pretty sure about that. I just checked last week. So you have to contact your BC Ministry of Education, ask them to request that e-transcript, e-final transcript, e-final diploma, and then upload your copy of that official document to your students, to the application system, notify your admission officers, and then they can remove it. We are not able to receive the mail document because no one is at the campus and no one is able to go back to pick it up for you. So you have to submit the digital version, okay? I'm pretty sure they issue digital version. there is no way they will only issue mail documents. So because I just encountered similar inquiries and other students last week, they are able to do the digital version. So definitely connect with your school in BC, get the digital copy, okay? I have taken placement test for math and passed it. So that means it's not necessary to take math courses, right? No. You will still take the math courses. If you pass, I'm not sure what you mean by pass, maybe you're placed at college level, then you will take the college math. It's not for exemption. The purpose of placement test is still to determine which math and English course you're gonna take. It's not gonna exempt you from any English and math courses, all right? I am not required to take placement test for English. That means I have to take English course in first semester. I'm not sure, can you elaborate on that? Why you are not required to take English placement test? Did you take the admission test? Or what's the reason there? Okay, I'm just gonna go through the, okay, let me see. ECE is early childhood education. Sorry, I've been using this. ECE is early childhood education program, okay? All right, I'm gonna move to the next question before I find out why the student is not required to take placement test for English. The only explanation I can find out is that you took admission test before. Then yeah, you don't have to take English. The result is already placed for you, okay? For health insurance, I find various plans on the website. Which plan are we joining? What is the difference? Again, I cannot answer that for you. I'm not an expert on health insurance. Check on the website. I think there is explanation on what is the default plan for international students. They definitely have that information. They have like sub-menus for everything. Can just go through that. If you still have questions, there is a contact information. They will explain that for you, okay? Another important information that I want to share with you guys is that join the international orientation, because there is going to be someone from international who's in charge of the health insurance, join the session and explain everything for you in a very detailed way. So definitely make sure you sign up for the international student orientation, because they will talk about the health insurance for sure, okay? I am wondering if the program included a co-op semester. Am I able to work off campus? If you're including a co-op semester, then are you saying on top of your co-op, are you allowed to work off campus? I don't think that will be doable, because there is a limit for you to, like, there is hours limit, right? If you don't exceed the hours, then that's fine. If you're already working full-time for co-op, I doubt it if you can still work off campus, because that may already exceed the limit. Again, check with your international student advisors before your co-op term, okay? They are the expert on that. I'm not really sure. Hi, Nadila, I paid a tuition fee for both semesters and I found out the final amount in the invoice is less than what I have paid. How can I get the refund of the extra payment? So if you are not too worried about it, because you still have to pay for the future intakes, then you can just leave it there. You can use it for future intake. But of course, you have the option to take out the extra payment, and you have to contact Cherry. Can you share the Intel admission email address? So that email address that Cherry just shared is who you should contact. Contact them and tell them I made extra payment and I want it refunded to my bank account. All right. This is the email address that Cherry just shared, is where you should be contacting for the extra payment you made. Okay, I have contacted the administrative officer, as I will be late arrival Toronto on September 17th. I was asked to talk to someone on August for the arrangement of the courses during other days. Okay, I'm not really sure who are you talking to, like what do they mean by arrange, talk to someone? I wasn't included in the communication, so I honestly don't know who you should be talking to. Can you just send me an email, because September 17th is late, is for late attendance. So, oh, you know what? Talk to the Intel support team. Cherry, can you share the Intel support email address? So talk to that email address, Intel Support. Tell them that you're a new student, you are not gonna arrive until September 17th. How will that affect your enrollment to September? Okay, you'll have to find out that because September 17th is very late. I'm not sure if they can accept it unless you manage to get some kind of exception by your academic division and also the international student support team, then that's another story. But if you didn't get any exemption or written confirmation, and then you come on September 17th, then you will be responsible because that has passed the late attendance date, okay? The deadline for my outstanding payment is 19th September. Can I pay it until I arrive in Canada, or should I pay it before my registration date? My understanding is that you have to make the payment before you can register. So that's always has been my understanding. But if you don't want to pay, try register first. If it doesn't allow you to register, then that means you have to pay first, okay? I don't know, there is a September 19th deadline for that. Usually that's for domestic students. That's my understanding. International students are required to pay full amount. So check on that, okay? Do you know, could we pay the outstanding balance $10 through bank transfer? I would not recommend you bank transfer because if you're talking about wire transfer, because usually the service fee doesn't worth it for only $10. Try pay with a credit card, okay? On Stuvio, you can use any credit card, Canadian card or international card. That's the fastest way, and then it's gonna save you some service fee as well. EAP is for students who applied without IELTS, Duolingo, or TOEFL. Even I am studying postgraduate program. EAP has there's nothing to do with you if you're already accepted to a postgraduate program. I'm not really sure I answered this question. Can you just elaborate on it a little bit?